Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is First Impressions Friday and this is the third video for today and the last one, I promise. I know that it's hard when I get things in all at once to watch all of them, so I hope that you watch them, but if you don't want to, that's fine too. This one is for the Indra Creative Premium Watercolor Pencils. Next month is my water month, so I needed some things to work with for water, and I found a coupon. So I have a coupon for these for 36% off. So they were really inexpensive once the coupon was added. They are made with a black timber circular shape, has a 4 millimeter core. Let's see if I can pop it open here. And they're a really pretty pencil. The only thing I don't like about the Indra Creative pencils, I have the set of regular pencils. I also have the set of the macaron pencils, but they don't have any names or numbers on them. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take a Sharpie to the tip and I'm going to write numbers on them after I get them into color order. So they're pretty. They're a beautiful color, and the colors just pop right off of that black. It does come with its own paintbrush as well as a sharpener, which I won't use, and there is 2 layers of pencils. Ooh, almost dropped them. Bad. And of course, another thing I don't like about them is their color order, so I will be going through and rearranging them. I did swatch them in the color order, so I will take you over to the swatch and we'll take a look at that. We'll do a couple of little test areas for them and take a closer look at the swatch now that it's dry. And then we will play with them. I figured we would play on one of these small areas with my Caran d'Ache marker water brush. So it has a marker tip. It is a water brush. It is full of water. So it will basically paint with a marker tip so that we can hopefully limit the amount of water that goes on the page. And hopefully the page can take it. I will actually be putting like this behind it so that, because I just thought of it, that if it goes through, it doesn't ruin the other page. So we'll put that behind it. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we will be doing one of the little circles on the page in the Rita Berman Europa book. So sit back, relax. There's only 72 pencils, so it shouldn't take too long. So I will watch the swatch with you, and then we'll take a look at it and take a look at it now that it's dry, and do a couple of test fitting things. All right, guys, I will be right back. Sit back, grab that coffee. I know it's been a long day. All right, guys, I shall be right back. It is swatch time. Okay. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. So as you saw, I did swatch them both dry and wet. When I swatched them dry, I went over them with a wet brush. I used the brush that comes with the Indra set, so that I could tell if it put out too much water and that sort of thing. Really pretty colors. The fluorescents are really nice. They do have a couple of metallics. Let's see if there's any actual shine to them. A little bit. Yeah, they've got some glitter to them, which is kind of cool. It's not extremely glittery, but there is some shine to them. So, not bad at all for pigmentation. We're going to flip this over and we're going to do a couple of test areas. Um, well, actually, we won't even flip it over. We'll just use these areas down here. So uh, let's do a blend and a drag and a dry. So let's see if we can blend some colors together into a gradient. So let's do this one, and this one. So let's start with the darkest. Now, of course, with a watercolor pencil, the pigment should dissolve with water. So when you lay it down dry, you should be able to drag that pigment and move it over in, um, fill in the space. So I'm going to move this and I'm going to switch it over to the close-up. Let's move it over here for a second. Do not fall. I'm going to switch you over to the close-up camera here so you can see a little better. So I've got half of that done. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to go with the next color. Now I'm pressing fairly hard so I can get a good level of pigment on the page. I'm not going to do a light to dark in this area. We will in the next area. And then we're going to grab the light one. And we're going to put half of it here. Now, as you can tell, unlike colored pencils, I'm leaving a white space. I'm leaving a lot of space between the colors because I want to be able to drag those colors to each other and blend them together. Just making sure I have enough. Sorry about that, guys. For some reason, my microphone decided, yeah, I'm done. So it shut itself off. It's not supposed to do that. I think I've run out of Microsoft space. So we may not end up coloring, but we will do the test here. Hopefully the microphone will last long enough to deal with that. So I'm getting the entire area wet and I'm moving it down into the pink area. I'm bringing those two colors together and then moving that darker pink down and bringing it into the lighter pink here and then bringing that light pink down. so that we end up with that gradient color line there, like that. And I'm going to wipe this off. And once that dries, hopefully we'll have a nice gradient line and not just 3 boxes of color. Now, once we let that dry, it shouldn't take too long. I didn't use a whole lot of water on it. We can add some color to it. So let's see if we can add a layer of dark on there. So as you can see, I can layer that darker color right on top of that painted area, and we can drag that out as well. So that we have that dark, light, and medium. Dark, medium, and light areas. So if I wanted to, I could take, say, this one here, which is the medium, and I can go over top of this area. It's not quite dry, but it's fine. We can put a line of that in there. And then we can drag it out. Like so. And do the same thing with the dark onto that light area there. Just making it a little bit darker in this area. And then we can drag it out. And extend it into that light pink area there. Like so. So it makes a really nice gradient ability. You can definitely, probably just gave that too much water. You can build the color, you can add color, that sort of thing. So we're going to do the drag test. So what the drag test is, for me, I'm not all that great with watercolor. So I'm going to put a heavy layer here. And I'm just going to gently create a lighter level here. And we're going to see how far we can drag that with the paintbrush. So I'm going to grab the brush from the set. So this is the brush it comes with. It's just a small square tip brush. I'm going to dip it in the water, wipe off any excess, and we're going to drag that color down. I think I wiped off too much. And drag that color down and see how far we can drag it. And continue to get that gradient watercolor look. And it does pretty good with that. Yeah, it drug it pretty good. And it gives that gradient look. Now, what I'm going to try with the dry area is I'm going to take a few colors. I'm going to take the darkest of the reds, the red color, and then the medium red color, and I'm going to go over top of it and come down. Then I'm going to take the darkest pink and come down off of that. And then we'll take the lightest pink and come off of that. And as you can see, it does a gradient effect there. Dry. So let's see if we can continue it. Let's go light to dark and make it all nice and bright. Just remember, if you're going light to dark, that your dark color is going to be on your brush, so you need to wipe that clean. Otherwise, you're going to end up with your dark color up here in the light. So as you can see, we're able to continue that gradient all the way up. We can also go from dark down and have it gradient downwards as well. So that blends nicely together, both dry and wet. So let's try just doing a dry area, and we'll see if we can color with them dry. Alright, so I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to grab a yellow. And we'll intensify that red a little bit more. So you can blend them together dry. And we'll grab this blue. And we'll go this way with it. Now this is a fairly light blue, so it should give a nice bright yellow, bright green when we put the yellow over it. Like that. Now we're going to take that brush, pen, and we're just going to brighten that up. Try to go in one direction. I might actually just grab the brush itself. I think the pen is lifting too much of it off, where the brush just moves it. Remember, if you're going to use red, to, be careful not to drag it around, which I've already done, so there's no point in changing it. And it blends together quite nice, both dry and wet, for different colors as well, which is great. Okay, so that is the Indra watercolor pencils. It works pretty good dry. It works pretty good wet. You are getting a highly pigmented pencil, so of course it's going to smudge. So be careful if you are coloring with it dry. As you can see, it'll smudge around a bit. So there's our yellow. We'll put our red into it. Then we can put a little bit more yellow into it. Now, as you can see, it doesn't blend that line out, but it does combine the two colors. And you can blend the line out with the water. So let's see if we can get a bit of purple going on here. I'll take this red here instead. this. So yeah, we can definitely get a purple out of that as well. So dry, you can easily do a light to dark rainbow effect as well. And let's brighten it up. Basically what happens with watercolor is sometimes when you go over it with water, the colors brighten up. Unless you muddy it up by dragging your colors around, which I usually do. Makes a pretty sunset type of thing though. Just don't put too much water on because you'll wash your colors right away. I've done that. I've done that before. It really sucks. Now another thing that you can do with watercolor pencils is you can take, let's just throw that anywhere. You can take your pencil and you can take your bit of water on the very, very tip, dab it off, and color with it. And get that watercolor effect. Basically all you're doing is you're dissolving the pigment while it's still in the pencil. The only thing I caution you with if you are doing it this way is make sure that you dry off your pencil when you're done, because the water will continue to melt your pigment. So make sure that you dry it off really, really well when you're done. And then you can take your water brush and smooth it out if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can also use a different type of blender marker. I'll show you this one if I can find it. I have it in here somewhere. There we go. So this is a Sakura coloring brush pen, and it's just a little white brush pen. There's no color to it unless you put color on it. And we'll take this pink here and we'll put a line of this pink nice and heavy here, and then you can just drag it down with the pen and smooth that out. In a gradient fashion that way. So you can use one of these pens as well. This is a koi coloring brush pen. It's made by Sakura, and it works really nicely. It doesn't put out too much water. Of course, just remember to wipe your pen when you're done. So let's do a nice line of the red. And then we just take the brush and fill it in. It doesn't give you the same effect as the watercolor using a brush like a paintbrush, but it does activate that watercolor and brightens and moves it around for you. Now as you see, I just got that green on there from wiping it on on my rag, but I can get rid of that just by re-wiping it on the rag, making sure that I get all that green off. Otherwise it will bleed into whatever you're doing. So there you go. And you can just rub it off like that, or you can wipe it on a cloth or another piece of paper. All right, last one, we're going to do the blue. Just for the fun of it, because it's out. And as you can see, the blue dims really quick because it's got a way less pigment in it. So you can get that watercolor fade effect with it. The pigment is still there, it just dissipates quicker because there's less of it. You can also do this if you decide that you need more pigment. You can pick it up off of the pencil with the brush and just add it. Just remember, anytime that you add liquid to your pencil, to wipe it off, otherwise it will continue to dissolve your pigment. Make sure it's nice and dry before you put it back into your box. Alright guys, so this is the Indra watercolor pencils. They are a 60 set of watercolors, plus they have 6 multicolor pencils. So the multicolor pencils, I'll show you what those are like. We have 2 neons, so there's 4 neon colors. No, 6 neon colors, sorry. There's a blue, red, orange, yellow, purple, and green. And then they have metallics. Now the metallics are copper and blue, gold and silver, red and green. And they do have some metallic fleck in them, so they do, even after going over it with water, come up with a metallic color. The regular Indras, the regular Indra colored pencil set that I have as well, also has these multicolored pencils, and the fluorescents are just beautiful. So this does have some really nice fluorescence in it. When you add it directly to the page, it is really bright. Like, the fluorescents are so nice and bright. I know a lot of people don't use the fluorescents. I like them, especially when I'm coloring things that are magical and at night, because it just makes things glow, and that's always fun. So let's add a bit of green. So as you can see, the green fluorescent and the yellow fluorescent are pretty close together, but you can definitely tell one's green and one's yellow. And then you can just take your and combine them together like that. And I know I have very little experience with using a wet medium, so I may not be doing this right, but it's fun to play. When I first started my coloring journey, I actually colored, like dry colored, everything with a set of watercolor pencils because I didn't know any better. My husband bought me watercolor pencils instead of colored pencils, thinking that they were all the same. And I colored with them for almost a year and hated everything I colored because it was so dull. And I was coloring with my mom one day and I said, "How do you get your colors that bright? Mine are just so dull all the time." She says, "Well, let me see your pencils." So I showed her my pencils and she said, "These are watercolor pencils. You're supposed to add water to them." And it's like, okay, well that tells me why my pictures are really dull. So I started playing with the watercolor pencils before I actually started coloring with actual colored pencils. So I do have a little bit of experience playing with the watercolor pencils. I wouldn't say I'm good at them. I wouldn't even say I'm adequate at them, but they are pretty and I do enjoy using them. So next month is February, and of course February is the month of water. So we will be playing with these a whole lot more next month. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I will leave the coupon link down below. Of course, it will be an affiliate link, but you will receive 36% off of this set of 60 plus 6 Indra colored pencils. And like I said, it comes with the little square uh, paintbrush. Excuse me, I got the hiccup suddenly. The little square paintbrush, as well as a pencil sharpener. Now, the other Indra set that I got came with a green one, and it's actually a really nice sharpener. So I didn't realize that this one was exactly like the green one. So I will use this one. The little plastic ones, I'm not fond of those, but these ones here, they're really, really nice. So I will be using that one because I really like that one. All right, so I'm going to put these all back in here. This is, like I said, 60 plus 6. So 60 plus the 6 double-ended. And they're just really pretty. Now I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Of course, stay tuned next month for more watercolor usage. I will be using these as well as other watercolor pencils that I have, plus some actual watercolor paints. So that will be going on next month. Another thing I will suggest, if you are going to use watercolor with a paintbrush and a paint and a glass of water, keep one glass of clean water, one glass of dirty water, and always keep some wipe rags. So, like I have a paper towel here where I wipe all the pencil and everything off on. What else was I going to say? Oh, and if you have the ability, especially if you're working on a coloring book piece with thin paper, keep a hair dryer close by, or a air dryer for paint. Um, I have a small heat gun that is used for painting that I use to dry the paint so that I can continue to work on top of it. Yeah. Other than that, guys, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTubers' videos that you watch. It does help them understand what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, as well as, helps the YouTube send more people their way. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel and you've enjoyed the videos today, please hit that subscribe button. We do have a milestone coming up of 2,500 subscribers, which is halfway to our year-end goal, and I will be doing a special giveaway for that. I do have Facebook, Discord, and Instagram, so if you want to join me on any of those social medias, please feel free to do so. The Facebook and the Discord links are below the video. The Instagram link is on my channel banner. So is the Facebook and my email link, as well as my PayPal link. If you decide that you want to support the channel financially, you can do so through that link. Or hit the join button below the video, which will take you to my memberships and walk you through how to become a member of my Coloring Corners Fairies, Unicorns, and Mermaids. I think with that, I will sign off with always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You have a fantastic day. And for all of you over in the Discord, I will see you there. Until then, bye-bye for now.